Hey, it's Tom
And Mike.
from Take Time to Travel. Vancouver is an incredibly picturesque city with so many different fun and exciting things to do. So we decided to put together a Vancouver travel guide to highlight some of the top attractions as well as its beautiful scenery to give you some ideas on what to do and where to eat in our favorite Canadian city.
We'll start at one of the most popular attractions called Granville Island. It features a bustling public market filled with lots of stalls selling all kinds of foods, desserts, and snacks. And around back, there's a lovely outdoor dining area with beautiful city views. Granville Island also has lots of different shops, restaurants, and patios. And from here, you can even go whale watching.
We decided to go on a Prince of Wales tour on this boat here, where we began our trip with a scenic cruise through Falls Creek, out past the container ships, and enjoyed lovely views of the mountains in the distance. After a little while, we were excited to be able to make our first sighting of some majestic humpback whales, as well as some seals and sea lions sunning themselves on the rocks. Then we were lucky enough to also make a sighting of a pod of orca whales after that. On the way back, we passed by Lighthouse Park before arriving back in Falls Creek.
Next, we'll head over to the Capilano Suspension Bridge Park, where you can cross the Capilano Suspension Bridge, which stretches 450 feet long and towers 230 feet above the Capilano River. After crossing over the bridge to the other side of the canyon, you can also walk through a rainforest canopy with the Treetops Adventure, which includes 7 different suspended walkways and platforms up to 110 feet above the ground, connected to the 250-year-old Douglas fir trees. There's also the thrilling cliff walk to check out, which is perched on the side of the canyon wall, 30 stories above the Capilano River, and stretches 700 feet along the canyon. It's quite the adrenaline rush.
Following that, we'll head over to Cole Harbour, where you can find the drop sculpture and enjoy some beautiful views overlooking Vancouver Harbour and the mountains. You'll also find this lovely square with the Olympic cauldron at the far end, as well as a picturesque waterfront trail for biking and walking that has a dramatic view of Cole Harbour's modern condo towers as well as the Harbour Air Seaplane Terminal.
From there, you can take a ride on one of Harbour Air's seaplanes around the city and enjoy a bird's-eye view of Stanley Park, as well as Vancouver's cityscape and skyline. And of course, get a breathtaking view overlooking Cole Harbour. It's an absolutely incredible experience that we'll always remember.
Now let's continue along Cole Harbour's Seawall Water Walk, past the scenic perspectives of Vancouver Harbour and this interesting sculpture called the Light Shed, and head over to the Cole Harbour Marina, where you can see some amazing yachts and cool-looking boats. We quite enjoyed wandering along here. It sure would be nice to own one of these.
Further along the walkway, there's some restaurants and patios over the water, and we even saw a paddle wheeler passing by. But let's keep going past the Bayshore West Marina and head over to Stanley Park, where you can see some gardens with gorgeous flower bushes, as well as some huge trees, like this massive old-growth tree, which we think is a Douglas fir. You can also enjoy some nice city views from here.
Over on the other side of the park, there's Second Beach. It's a popular sandy beach, which can be quite busy on a summer day. And right beside that, there's the gigantic Second Beach swimming pool that overlooks English Bay.
Vancouver also has lots of free events around the city, like the Pride Parade, which takes place at the beginning of August and attracts tens of thousands of people. We also enjoyed the free Italian Day Festival in June that showcases food and music. Then in July, we enjoyed the Vancouver Greek Summerfest that had lots of games and family-friendly fun, as well as some very tall people in costumes, lots of food and drinks, and some fun events with music and dancing. There's also the Dragon Boat Festival, which had some free concerts to enjoy.
One of our favorite events was the Symphony at Sunset, which seems to be a favorite of many Vancouverites too, where the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra performs a free concert at Sunset Beach Park.
Now we'll head across the city over to Science World, which is located in this giant geodesic dome just at the end of False Creek and features lots of interesting exhibits. At night, it lights up in a variety of changing colors and patterns. And from the walkway in front of Science World, you can enjoy some fantastic views of Vancouver's skyline. From there, it's a short stroll to the Olympic Village Walk, which has a nice tree-lined promenade with lots of places to sit down, relax, and enjoy the incredible scenery. It really is picturesque over here, looking back across the water.
There's also the Village Ferry Terminal Dock, as well as Olympic Village Square, with these huge bird sculptures that we quite liked. We would often pass by here on our daily walks, and we never tired of these spectacular views. But let's keep going and cross over the distinctive canoe bridge, past Habitat Island, which is locally known as Beer Island, and over to this rickety structure with the age-old question, should I be worried?
Next, we'll head downtown to Robson Square, where you can find food trucks, street performers, and the Vancouver Art Gallery. From there, you can walk along Robson Street, which has lots of shops and boutiques, as well as many tasty restaurants. If you're looking for luxury shopping, then head over to the nearby Alberni Street, where you can find all of the high-end designer brands.
For the gay neighborhood, you can head over to the West End's Davie Street. It's a bustling part of town, lined with many inviting restaurants, as well as lots of gay-friendly bars and pubs. Some of them even have large outdoor terraces.
Also in the West End, we really enjoyed walking along the beautiful green leafy streets, where we found some charming old homes. It feels more like a small town than being in a big city. And while you're in the West End neighborhood, make sure to take a stroll along Denman Street for some more of the quaint small town atmosphere.
At the far end of Davie and Denman Street, you'll find this nice little area with palm trees called Morton Park, which features 14 cheerful sculptures called Amazing Laughter. It's always surprising to see palm trees in Canada. Next, we'll head just past Morton Park and over to one of our favorite beaches in Vancouver called English Bay Beach. As you could guess, the sandy beach overlooks English Bay and is one of the busiest in the city, but you can still find a nice spot by yourself to relax. Here you'll find the Cactus Club restaurant patio, which has a fantastic view, as well as some food trucks and of course some beach volleyball courts.
Another wonderful reason to visit English Bay Beach is for the Celebration of Light fireworks display that takes place in July each year from a barge out in the bay. That happens on 3 separate nights and is a competition between 3 different countries to see who can put on the best fireworks display. In 2023, the countries competing were Australia, Mexico, and the Philippines. All of them put on an incredible show. The celebration attracts over 1 million people each year to watch the vibrant pyrotechnic competition. We were lucky enough to watch from our friend's terrace to avoid the crowds. The finales were absolutely stunning.
But let's continue past English Bay Beach and the engagement ring sculpture and keep walking along the seawall over to Sunset Beach. It's another one of Vancouver's popular beaches, where you'll find even more palm trees and many people relaxing on the sandy beach and waiting to enjoy the beautiful sunset views. And if you make your way to the far end of Sunset Beach, there's a busy off-leash dog park.
A little bit further along, just under the Granville Street Bridge, you'll find the 25-foot-tall spinning chandelier, weighing in at about 7,500 pounds. It cost a cool $4.8 million.
Next, we'll continue past the Granville Bridge and walk along the seawall, where you'll arrive at the lovely George Wainborn Park, which has a nice view of the modern condo towers surrounding it, as well as across False Creek to Granville Island. And a bit further past that, there's the David Lamb Dock, which is one of the many water taxi stops along the waterfront in Vancouver.
From here, you can catch an aquabus or a False Creek ferry and get a scenic view of the city and its beautiful skyline, or to make your way over to one of the other water taxi stops, like Granville Island. But we're going to keep going along the picturesque Seawall Trail over towards Yaletown, which is where we lived in Vancouver. The waterfront here is very pretty and is where you'll find the Quayside Marina, which has lots of gorgeous boats, as well as some spectacular yachts.
Also in Yaletown, over on Hamilton and Mainland Streets, in between Davie and Nelson, you'll find this charming area with lots of historic old buildings, which has been converted into a trendy destination, lined with a variety of attractive restaurants and patios. We quite liked having this area so close to us. Another part of the city lined with historic old buildings is over in Gastown. It's a very touristy neighborhood with many souvenir and gift shops. I even made a friend with some of the local wildlife over here. But the main draw to this part of town is the Gastown steam clock, which shoots steam and whistles.
But let's keep going. There's lots more to see and do in Vancouver. We'll head over to the Burrard Street Bridge, which has a lovely Art Deco style design, as well as a beautiful bird's eye view overlooking the marinas, False Creek, and the Vancouver cityscape. And if you cross over the bridge, you'll find the charming Kitsilano neighborhood. It's a gorgeous part of the city filled with lots of green leafy streets. And if you make your way down towards the waterfront, there's lots of peaceful places to relax and take in the scenic vistas of the Burrard Inlet, the mountains, and even the city off in the distance. And if you continue to stroll along the shoreline trail, you'll arrive at the 450-foot-long Kitsilano pool, which definitely has a pretty phenomenal view.
A little bit further, there's Kitsilano Beach Park, which quite often has events going on like the Vancouver Vegan Festival. But the main attraction in this neighborhood is the very popular Kitsilano Beach, where you can spend the day with family and friends enjoying a picnic lunch or playing a game of beach volleyball at one of the many courts.
Continuing around the waterfront trail, there's some more beautiful views, as well as some less busy beaches, and some great places to watch the boats cruise by in False Creek. But let's keep going and head back across the bridge and check out some of the city's cool architecture, like the curvy Vancouver House, as well as the stacked box-looking Deloitte Summit building, and the old Vancouver Post Office building, which is now part of the Sinclair Centre.
After that, we'll take the SkyTrain over to the Richmond Night Market, which is the largest night market in all of North America, and is lined with lots of different food stalls with vendors selling all kinds of interesting food options.
If you're looking for some delicious eateries in Vancouver, make sure to check out the Vietnamese-Cambodian restaurant with a Michelin Bib Gourmand Award called Nom Pen. And for a tasty all-you-can-eat option, make sure to check out East is East, which serves a diverse Eastern menu ranging from Afghan to Tibetan flavors.
For some Japanese cuisine, we would recommend Reisu, which has lots of amazing food with an exceptional presentation. And if you're looking for some fine dining, make sure to check out Published on Main, which was awarded a Michelin star, as well as Gwangju-dae Beijing Duck House, which also has a Michelin star and serves scrumptious Peking duck.
For more restaurant recommendations, you'll want to watch our Best Restaurants in Vancouver video. And remember, take time to travel. Catch you on the next one.